I'm going to give you 6 very different looking automatic chicken cooker designs that work in both Bedrock Edition and Java Edition, and I'm going to give you the world download in both versions, plus the Java schematics for all of them. Don't you go anywhere. Hello everyone, and welcome to another Minecraft farm tutorial from me, Avomance, and today it's chicken. I've created 6 different chicken cooker designs for you, all of them based around one of these 2 mechanics that I'm going to show you how to make in just a moment. One of these versions has a slightly higher hourly rate, but you do need comparators and observers, so you've got to have gone to the nether to get quartz. But the other one needs absolutely no quartz whatsoever, so you can do this right early game. And you could adapt any of these designs to work with either one of these to suit what it is you need at the time. This world is available to download in both Java Edition and Bedrock Edition. All the farms work in both of those game types. And if you're feeling really lazy, all 6 of these designs plus the original 2 mechanics are available as a schematic in Java Edition. So whether it is the world download or the schematics or both, go over to avomance.com, go to the free downloads page, and you'll find exactly what you need right there. Now, before I show you how to put these working parts of the farm together, I'm just going to show you the actual designs themselves. But I will be doing these block by block in just a couple of minutes. First up, we've got this really simple deep slate version. Now this design has got the tiniest little footprint, and I've added a little bit of detail that you wouldn't have to put on there at all. So you can end up having this only about 3 by 6 blocks. It's tiny, but it works really well. The chickens grow up inside and they get completely hazed by some lava. Cook the chicken, and inside there you get chicken and feathers as well. Obviously, you could change all of that shading and variegation into any blocks you want. It doesn't have to be deep slate. It's entirely up to you. Use the palette that really pleases you, or just download the schematic and plonk it straight into your world. Next up, I've called this one the pizza cooker because it looks, well, a little bit like a big old pizza cooker. The palette on this one is bricks, and believe it or not, granite. Yes, I've used granite, but it really works with a brick as a palette. I've put plenty of wall in there to get light around it. I just thought it looks pretty good. It's like an external barbecue, and that'd fit into any world really, really well. That functional chimney there is just a campfire surrounded by some trapdoors, but I think it really works to give off a feel that we're properly cooking the chicken. And you'd be able to see it a little way off, so you'd never lose your base. I went super simple for this next one. It's basically an andesite tube. I thought this could really represent something maybe that was already in the wall of your base, or if you wanted to, you can make it look like some kind of, I don't know, pressure chamber, some futuristic industrial build. Just andesite. Use whatever palette you would like for this. Works in exactly the same way and is really, really effective. The fourth design is this ruined chimney tower, and I've made this out of various different stone blocks, mossy at the bottom, and then I've kind of moved it up as we texture it towards the top. Again, we've got a campfire in there just to give a little bit of smoke for some animation on the build, and we've made it look a little bit run down by putting in some steps instead of blocks and creating that chipped out effect. But again, working really well in there, making sure you get plenty of chicken coming out of your farm. You could definitely use that in any rustic build or maybe an ancient build, lots of options, and you could pair that up with a few of the iron farms that I've done recently. No farm tutorial by me would be complete without some kind of rustic house, and that's exactly what I've done here. This is just the same automatic chicken farm, and it works in exactly the same way. However, we've made it into a rustic house so it could fit into a rustic village that maybe you've made, into your base, make it an ancillary building. You can still see through the windows to see the chickens in there, but I think it works really beautifully, this one. That stony area there around the front prevents the wood of the rest of the farm burning down as a result of lava and fire tick. Although obviously you could turn the fire tick off. Again, you could just download this as a schematic and plonk it straight into your Java world. And then finally, even though this is a lot smaller, this is a triple chicken farm base. By triple, what I mean is there are 3 chicken pods that you have got in the back here, feeding in lots and lots more baby chickens to the front. A word of caution, because you've got so many chickens in here as entities, this is not the most server friendly farm, so don't build this on a server because your server admins might get really grumpy about it. However, any of those other farms could really be used on most servers. You just have to limit the number of chickens that you put into your feeder pod. I'd recommend no more than 12. Although in Java, as a maximum, you can put in 24, and in Bedrock, there is nothing called cramming, so you might as well just lob loads of them in. But as a result of these multiple chicken coops, we have got a lot more going into our collection chest. That's only been running for just a few minutes and we've already got 14 cooked chicken and a load of feathers. So if you are looking to get loads and loads of chicken fairly quickly, once this one starts going, you're going to get far more chicken out of this triple cooker than you are out of the others. And it's only got a 9 block by 8 block footprint. So let me show you how to make the two different versions right now. If you're still watching, I must be doing something right, so maybe consider hitting that sub button and joining my sub club. Also, hit the notifications bell and that way you'll never miss anything in the future. And while you're there, giving that like button a little tickle doesn't cost you anything, but it really makes a big difference to the channel. Thanks ever so much. Now, I did not design these original mechanics. They've been in the Minecraft community for some time and I've got no idea where they originated. However, if you do know where they originated, let me know down in the comments and I'll make sure that I give them credit in the description of the video. Thank you. First up, we're going to make the most efficient version of the farm. Everything you need to make this farm is inside this chest in the right number, so you don't need very much at all. These seeds and this chicken spawn egg are here to represent the fact that you need to get some chickens in there as well. You are also going to need a few temporary blocks. Something like dirt would work perfectly. Now I'm going to make these in survival just to show you how easy it is. The first thing you need to do is dig a 3x1 trench like that. At one end of the trench, place a double chest and then get one of your hoppers and shift click it into the end of your chest like that. Do check that it has worked and you've put it in properly by throwing something into it and grabbing something out of it. You can see that's worked absolutely fine. You are then going to get a dispenser and you're going to place the dispenser facing over your hopper like that, and then shift click another dispenser onto the top of that first dispenser, so you've got a little dispenser stack. This must be a dispenser and not a dropper. It will not work if it is a dropper. Place a slab on top of the hopper like that, and then place one stone there, one stone there, one stone there, and one stone there. This doesn't have to be stone, but do make sure these are blocks that will not burn because they're going to come into contact with lava. Then shift click a glass on top of that part of the chest. It will still open, so don't worry, and then another glass on top of it. Then come around the back and in the bottom dispenser place shift click in a hopper. You can see the tail of the hopper is going into that, and out the back of that hopper you want to be placing a comparator. Now holding an observer, jump onto the hopper and using shift click place it facing downwards on top of that comparator. You can see that the redstone bum is facing upwards and you can't see it at the moment, but if I dig down one block, the redstone face is looking at that comparator there, and that's exactly what you're after. Jump on top of that hopper and come there. Place a temporary block right on top of that hopper. Place glass on one side, glass on the other side, and you can then get rid of that temporary block. You don't need that there anymore. That will go into the chest, so don't worry, you won't lose it. What we're now going to do is we're going to place 4 temporary blocks, one there, one there, one there, and then we're going to place one shift click in on top of that dispenser like that. This is where we're going to trap our chickens. Using my temporary blocks, I've built a little step-up system that gives me access to that hole right there, and I'm going to hold on to some seeds. I've got a couple of chickens here and I want to make friends with them. Chicken, come to me, keep coming to me, come and meet your friend over here. Chicken, come this way. Right, then you can tempt them by walking up onto the top. They will follow you up these steps. I just need to keep coming. Don't go too quickly, otherwise they'll lose track of you and get a little bit bored. So come on top of your thing. This fella up here has got bored of me. Oi, chicken, come back. There we go. So we got to keep them both interested. Come up and up and up. They both come up eventually, come to the opposite side of your hole, and what you want to do is you want to get your chicken inside, and do that by giving them a little nudge. Sometimes a little bit easier said than done, but you can nudge them into your hole very simply, and once you've got one in there, up you come. So one for you, and in he goes, jumps down there on his own. They will then breed and you will get a baby chicken. Now, you can keep pushing chickens in if you want to, if you've got plenty around you, or alternatively, you can breed this up until you've got enough chickens. As I said earlier, if you're doing this on a server, I'd recommend 12. If you're doing this on a solo world and you're not worried about having lots of entities, go up to 24. And if you're in Bedrock, do about 5,000. Do as many as you want, because entity cramming doesn't exist at the moment. I was joking about 5,000, but you can do more than 24 if you want to. Now, I've got loads of chickens in there, 24 to be exact. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my final observer and facing, so I've got my back towards this chest. I'm going to click it there. You'll notice the observer arrow is facing towards the chest. I'm then going to dig out these 4 blocks. 1, 2, 3, and 4 like that. I'm also going to get rid of that one because it is in my way at the moment. We then need to place our redstone. We are going to place 1 redstone dust right there and another redstone dust shift clicking on top of that dispenser just like that. We're then going to get our stone brick slab and we're going to pop it there again. It doesn't have to be stone brick, just not flammable. And then right click inside this dispenser and place in that lava bucket. You then can come down, grab out your whatever it is, gets rid of your temporary blocks, pick them up, and you are good to go. Now it will take a little while for this farm to prime itself up, but once it's going, it will be squirting eggs into your farm really quickly. You'll get baby chickens coming on top of that slab. They cannot be killed by the lava that spits out on the second dispenser. As a result of that, they wait until they grow and then they drop your cooked chicken and some feathers. It's worth mentioning you can't speed this fella up by putting eggs inside that hopper underneath the chickens. They have to lay them. If you put a load of eggs in there, it's not going to work. So just wait for the chickens. It's really worth the patience. I've waited for 3 minutes and I've got my first baby chicken in there. It was about 8 eggs that have been squirted in so far, and one of them has given me a chicken. You've got to remember that you don't get a baby chicken with every single egg that comes out. It's about on average 1 in 7 eggs will spawn a baby chicken. Now you can put whatever build around this chicken farm that you would like, but I appreciate you've got to go to the nether to be able to get the necessary quartz to make those observers and also that comparator. So let me show you a design that needs absolutely no quartz whatsoever. For this version of the farm you need slightly different items, but they're shown in the exact quantities right here in this chest. Again, wheat seeds and chicken spawn egg represents that you need chickens for this farm. And just like last time, you do need a very few temporary blocks. 6 or 7 should be plenty. We start this one in a similar way to the first design by building a trough that is 3 by 1, placing in a double chest and shift clicking a hopper in exactly the same way. We carry on putting a dispenser facing over that hopper, but we only put in 1 dispenser. We do, however, put the slab over the top of that, and we place a stone there, a stone there, a stone there. We're going to get 2 glass and place it like that, and a stone going up like that. We're then going to place another stone going that way and another stone going that way. So on either side you can see we've got kind of this 3-block shape. Come back up on top of there and on top of there and shift click your second hopper on top of that dispenser. Again, it must be a dispenser and not a dropper. You then place 1 temporary block on top of that hopper. Make sure you shift click when you do that, and then grab your lava and place the lava into that hole so it's level with the hopper. You're then going to get 1 of your stones and you're going to place it over the top of the lava. You're going to get your 2 glass, place it either side there, and then you're going to get your stone and place it there, which gives you 1 stone left that we're going to use in just a moment. Then remove out that temporary block and then get 1, 2, 3 and 4 of your slabs and pop them right there. At this point, build up a little step again and get yourself some chickens inside your farm in exactly the same way as you did with the previous farm. And once all of your chickens are in there, place the slab over the top of them so they can't escape. Come down your steps that you've made out of your temporary blocks. Get rid of those because you don't need those anymore. Now, we are going to use repeaters to create a time delay ticking clock. You can make this clock as long or as short as you would like. I'm going to use 4 repeaters. If you want to use 8 or 16 or something like that, you go for your life. You could even just use 2. It entirely depends how often you want this thing to make an audible click. Ultimately, the more repeaters you use, the longer your farm is going to be, and that just depends on what kind of footprint you can afford. I'm going to stick with 4, so I'm going to put a repeater there, and I'm going to come around this way, a repeater there and a repeater there. I'm going to right click on all of them 3 times, which means each one of those is 4 ticks. I'm then going to get my redstone dust, I'm going to connect up the 2, and you'll see my arrows are going to send a signal all the way around and into my dispenser. To do that, shift click, place a redstone torch there, that signal goes around, which turns off the torch, it comes around again, turns on the torch, off the torch, etc, etc, and for every single one of those cycles it is going to spit out 1 egg. For me, 4 repeaters seems just about right. And then finally place your last block on the other side of that, place it on the underside of that block. You won't have to use shift click, place it against the hopper and use shift click. And this farm is now done. You are not going to need a single piece of quartz, and it is going to work and produce you chicken. It does take a few minutes just to prime, and those chickens will start laying eggs and popping them into here. Again, remember, about 1 egg in every 7 is going to get you a baby chicken. And because the larva is always there, very occasionally when the chickens die, they will lose their chicken meat and the feathers into the larva. That's why this one hasn't got quite as good an hourly rate as the other one. But if you want to weigh that off against the advantage of not going to the nether and getting quartz, that's brilliant. You still do get plenty of chicken over time. Now remember, this world download is available on Avomance.com. Go to Avomance.com, click on free world downloads, and there is a dedicated link for Bedrock and a dedicated link for Java to download this world so you can come and have a look around these builds. And that is the exact same place that you can find the schematics of all of these for Java Edition as well. Remember, you are going to need to have some kind of program like Litematica or World Edit to be able to put those schematics into your world. I have done a tutorial on how to install World Edit for Java. It is in the description below. I've really enjoyed putting this together for you. Now let your imagination run wild and create a chicken cooker that works for you in your world. I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. You take it easy now. Bye.